So hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. कैसे हैं आप सब? How's your preparation going? Good. Have you done some revision? Yes or no? You guys were sleeping? What you guys were doing? So yesterday what we have done? We started our journey from crimes in UPSC. Yes, various crimes as per UPSC. Yes. Then we started with ethics. What do you mean by ethics? Yes, it is a normative science where we study human conduct on some established standard. The knowledge of ethics gives us knowledge of what we should do and what we should not in order to achieve summum bonum. In case of Jainism is, in case of Buddhism is, in case of governance is, in case of Hinduism is. And then we have seen that when the similar question was asked in Mahabharata, it was replied that Atmanah Pratikulani Pareshamna Samacharet. Atmanah Pratikulani Pareshamna Samacharet. That means do not do unto others as you would not be done by. And when the similar question was asked from Maharishi Vedyasa, the author of the compiler of Vedas and author of 18 Puranas and Brahma Sutras, he replied that Paropkaraya punyaya papaya parpidnam. Paropkaraya punyaya papaya parpidnam. That is, we should always do good to others. We should always help others. That will bring religious merit. If we instill pain, hatred, deception, it will be bringing us religious demerit. We have already seen in the previous class that what is ethics? That is, we have seen that ethics tells us about what is purpose of life, and we have seen next was how to achieve those purpose. How to achieve those purpose. Ethics tells us regarding rightness and wrongness of human conduct. क्या सही है, क्या गलत है. It tells us rightness and wrongness of human conduct. We have seen that Albert Schweitzer, what he was saying that is you have to achieve inner perfection of your own personality. Yes, always try to know whether I am doing it right or wrong. Yes, for example, Mahatma Gandhi ji was saying that greatness does not lie in remaking the world. That is the myth of atomic age. It is the greatness lies in remaking our own self, Yesterday we were doing that, and then we started with what? Then we have started with objectivity and subjectivity. Yes, we were doing objectivity. What do you mean by objective? That is objectivity. That is same for everyone in the society. Yes, and subjectivity, it is different for different persons. And then we were doing ethics and morals. We have seen that both these concepts, ethics and morals, deals with rightness and wrongness of human conduct. Rightness and wrongness of human conduct. But with respect to ethics, we have seen that the locus is in the external part. Here in morality, the locus is internal. We have seen that now. Yes, we have made this diagram. That is ethics and morals. Ethics and morals. Suppose if you are in this zone where ethics and morals are in consonance. For example, now this is a, for example, organization, any company suppose. Yes, now an employer is supposed to come at 10 a.m. in the morning. 10 a.m. in the morning. That is company ethics. Company ethics is saying that you have to come at 10 a.m. in the morning. Now you value punctuality. You being from the army background, and now you endure this value of discipline and punctuality. Now at the next very day you will be coming at 10 a.m. Yes, you will be in time. That is, your ethics and morals are in consonance. Are you getting or not? Your ethics and morals are in consonance. That is what we have seen. For example, For example, now you know that is, for example, you have studied in, for example, studied for UPSC examination. Yes, you know about this living relationships and, for example, premarital sex. Now you feel your individual morality says that it is perfectly fine to have a living relationship. Now your individual morality allows that, but the society you are living in may not allow that. Yes, the uncle ji, those the on that auntie ji will not be allowing that. Yes, that is, ethics is coming in conflict with moral. If you are here, then it is will be a conflict zone. We'll be seeing those, we'll be writing as well. And this morality is a individual conception. Morality is a individual conception. What values you consider primary? What according to you is right or wrong? Yes or no? Yes, these aspects we have seen. And we have also seen that is why there is need to study ethics. That is, we have seen that why there is need to study ethics. Let's memorize that. That is, at the individual level, there is always dilemma whether to follow public interest or private interest. And normally there is a tendency that people follow their personal interest more than the public interest. Then we have seen with respect to family, that is, strained family relations are there. For example, infidelity. Yes, we have seen the cases of infidelity. For example, at the community level, we have seen caste discrimination, and we have seen the NCRB data as well. Yes, which says that one woman being raped every 15 minutes. Then at the, for example, international level, we have seen human right violations, and we have seen various warlike situations as well. Then we were seeing at the corporate level, that is what we were seeing, various scams like 2G scams and Satyam scam. And then in politics, we have seen that at least, for example, 46% of these MPs have criminal charges against them. So do you remember all of these things? Yes, everyone, are you in the same page? Yes. Let's start with next, that is relationship between ethics and morals. Actually, we have done this, but we are doing in a more nuanced manner. See this news, that is IIT Bombay protesters fined 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees for eating non-vegetarian food at vegetarian only table. Yes, IIT Bombay protesters were fined 10,000 rupees for eating non-vegetarian food at vegetarian only table. Now see here, now university has made certain type of laws. For example, they have their own norms. Now when you see that, they have told that in vegetarian only table, people with those cultural norms, or for example to maintain their purity and sanity, they only vegetarian only person will be eating here. Yes, only vegetarian food will be eaten at the vegetarian only table. Yes, but these non-veg people being non-veg, yes, now what they are doing, they knew that how it matters, wherever I want to eat I can eat. Yes, how can university can stop us? Their individual morality came in conflict with university's ethics. Are you getting or not? Yes, everyone. For example, in your homes, for example, those who are coming from the northern background, from the northern areas, they will be seeing that is wheeling as a practice in your villages. Have you seen that wheeling, parda karna? Yes, wheeling as a practice. Yes, wheeling as a practice. Yes, we have seen that in the villages, if you are not wearing this wheel, you will be considered as unethical. While in the metro cities, that is not the case. For example, not wearing a veil is not considered unethical in the metro cities, but it is considered unethical in the some villages. Are you getting or not? Yes. Have you understood what is difference between ethics and morals? Yes, that is some standard that has been set by society, that society places on itself. Yes, those are called as ethics. So what is ethics? Ethics are those standards that society places on itself, those standards of rightness and wrongness that society places on itself, that is called as ethics, sir. That is called as ethics. Now write down this. So write down after that. So ethics is a set of, write down these lines. Write down these lines that so ethics is set of established standard that society places on itself. That society places on itself. that society places on itself, and it also help to guide, behavior, choices and actions. Behavior, choices and actions. Now see, dear sir and ma'am, आप लोग को ये समझना है कि whenever there is a question on ethics and morals, you know the introduction, everyone? Yes or no? Yes, ethics and moral, we know the definition of ethics. Yes, we know two value addition, value enrichment that we can write, and we also know about conclusion. How you can make the conclusion? That is, you will be contextualizing these lines: paropkaraye punyaye papaye parpidnam. Paropkaraye punyaye papaye parpidnam. Introduction is clear and conclusion is clear. In body wala part, wherever you want to use, for example, where it is fitting in, you can use atmanah pratikulani pareshamna samacharit. That was the formula that we made. That is ethics, normative science, where we study human conduct on some established standard. That is, it is telling us about rightness and wrongness of human conduct, plus AP square S. What is AP square S? Atmanah pratikulani pareshamna samacharet, and next is P की power 4. That is paropkaraye punyaye papaye par pedanam. Yes, perfect. That is what? Now let's see these three relations. Although we have already understood, it is just a revision. In the previous class we have already done that, but try to write in class, that is in your class notes. That is, what is these relations? For example, certain act could be called as ethical as well as morals. Ethical as well as moral. For example, society is telling you that every morning you should touch your parents' feet, and you have seen the sacrifices made by your parent. For example, even at the 3 AM in the morning, if you are doing some good activity, for example, if you are studying, then your mom will be seeing that and she will be getting up, and if you will be telling ki mom, I am hungry, she will be making chapatis for you. Are you getting or not? Even at the 3 AM in the morning. That means every morning you should touch your parents' feet. So your individual morality says that yes, I should, because they have sacrificed lot for me. Yes, you can just write in the short manner these examples, like society and at the individual level. For example, your company teaches you, company has this norm that you should come at 10 AM in the morning. Yes, but your individual morality also says that because I endure punctuality as a value, yes, I will be coming at 10 AM. That is, ethics and morals are in consonance. When ethics and morals are in consonance, so where you are? Tell me. Kahan par ho aap? In this diagram of Venn, where are you? In the middle part. Perfect. In the middle part. Now write down. Try to write this aspect. That is, certain acts, three relations: ethical as well as moral, society. Every morning you should touch your parents' feet. Every morning you should touch your parents' feet. At the individual level, yes, I should. They have sacrificed a lot for me. Yes. Example 1 लिख दिया everyone? Have you written example number 1? हो गया first? Okay. Next example is, company has told you at 10 AM, and we have seen that if you are enduring this value of punctuality, you will be coming at 10 AM. That is, ethics and morality are in consonance. Now there are certain cases where you are moral, now you think that that is a moral activity, but it might not be ethical. For example, we have seen various cases of, for example, that is living relationship example we have given. For example, premarital sex example we have given. Even with respect to LGBTQ plus rights, yes, those rights, regarding that you might consider, for example, you know that, since you know that all human beings are equal and they have equal rights, Yes, rights with respect to their choices. For example, right with respect to marriage. You might be in the favor of LGBTQ plus rights, but that might not be the case with the society. Yes, societies might not accept that. That is, it is moral but not ethical. It is moral but not ethical. Write down these examples as well. Moral but not ethical. Moral but not ethical. Write down these examples. These are very, very important. That is, moral hai but not ethical. That is, living relationship. It is moral but not ethical. You consider them as a moral. For example, premarital sex, LGBTQ plus rights. For example, Sabrimala temple. Yesterday we were giving this example of Sabrimala temple. That is, women of 10 to 50. That is, reproductive year women. They were not allowed inside the temple premises. Now, devotees do have certain kind of cultural norms, cultural practices. They say that those deities, that the deity that is sitting, that is residing within that temple premises, it is brahmachari, and all the women of that particular age, those that from 10 to 50, should not be allowed. Now they have this cultural practice, their individual morality coming in conflict with the constitutional principles of equality and non-discrimination. Equality and non-discrimination. So write down this example as well. Sabrimala. Yesterday we have already given this example. That is Sabrimala example. Yes, write down. Morality, it is moral but not ethical. Are you getting or not? Everyone? Moral to hai but ethical nahi hai. It is moral but not ethical. For example, your individual morality. Now, when you want to write in the examination, your individual morality might allow for that. For example, you are coming from that background. You are seeing that it might also happen that you might not allow, because you are also part of that society. It might happen, but I am saying that your individual morality might say that, okay, everybody is equal, everybody is a human being, so everybody has equal choices, freedom to choose their partners and everything. That is, love is beyond gender. Such kind of thoughts you are having. Now, from your perspective, from this person's perspective, it is moral, but it might happen that society in which he is living in, it might not allow for that. Are you getting or not? Not allow for that. Even for expressing all of those things, there is a lot of taboo that you are coming from this gender or gender neutral or any other gender. That is considered as a taboo in our society. Are you getting or not? That is moral but not ethical, sir. Are you getting? From that society's perspective, I am saying. From that society's perspective. Okay. Now next is ethical but not moral. Ethical hai lekin moral nahi hai. Yes, certain acts will be ethical but not morals. For example, war kills soldiers. Now in any war, from nation's perspective, you have to fight that war. Yes. Now if you have killed your enemy, it's good thing, it's ethical act. But now you being a soldier, you being a warrior, now when you are sitting in the home, you might feel like this, that is, okay, I have murdered one human being. You are feeling guilty. You are feeling guilty. Okay, that was also a human being. I have killed that human being. Yes or no? Yes, you might feel that. Now, nation's ethics came in conflict with your individual morality. That is why you are feeling that guilt. Are you getting or not? For example, let's take another example. Suppose you being very, very famous. Sir, aapka naam kya hai? June. Dhun is there. Now, Dhun is there, and Dhun is a very, very famous doctor in Kolkata. Very, very famous doctor. Now, recently we have seen the Kolkata rape case. Yes, very, very famous case that has happened. Now, Dhun is very, very famous doctor there. Now, he knows that his patient has committed heinous offense of rape. His patient has committed heinous offense of rape. You know this particular thing. But you have taken Hippocratic oath, doctor's oath, and you have to abide by those principles. Now, you have to treat him well. It is your responsibility. You have to do your duty at that particular time. Although you feel that this person should not be lived, this person should be killed, this person has no right to live, he has committed the heinous offense of rape. But in this particular moment, you have to follow your doctor's principle. That is your oath. Are you getting or not? Here your ethics came in conflict with your morals. Write down these two examples. War kills soldier. War kills soldier. Country के perspective में, in the country's perspective, it is ethical, but from the individual perspective, it might be immoral, that is unethical. Are you getting, everyone? Yes. With respect to ethics and morality question, you know the introduction. We are seeing the body wala part and you know the conclusion. Yes, just I am preparing you for a answer writing. You know introduction, body and conclusion. Yes, that is, write down this question example, and then for example doctor wala example. For example, your patient has committed a heinous offense of rape, and your individual morality says that your patient has committed a heinous offense of rape, and your individual morality says that person has no right to live. Person has no right to live, but your medical ethics says irrespective of his background, you have to help him. You have to help him. Are you getting or not, everyone? Yes. सभी लोगों ने लिख लिया? अंकित आए हैं आज? यस. कुणाल नहीं आया लगता है. कुणाल नहीं है. ओके. Okay, Ankit, let me put you in this situation. किसका नाम था अंकित? मुझे नाम तो याद है, चेहरा भी याद करना पड़ेगा. Yes, Ankit. Yes, Ankit, if you are a very very famous doctor, yes, now suppose in UP you are a very very famous doctor, yes, now you have seen that your patient is there, and he is facing one of these rare disease and having this problem, and he is facing excruciating pain, unbearable pain. He pleads from you that please doctor, please Ankit, please save me and give me death. Save me from this pain and give me death. Give me death. I plead from you. I cannot bear this pain. He is asking for euthanasia. You told to that patient, see, in India only passive euthanasia is allowed, not active euthanasia. So he says that, okay, please give me passive euthanasia as well. I am ready for that. Please give me. In that scenario, what you will be doing? You being a doctor, now you have this ethics also to save everybody's life. Now in this particular case, patient himself is asking for a death, pleading for him, and you know that it is unbearable pain and it will take certain time to cure. Yes, it will take very long time to cure. Yes, now he is pleading for that. In that scenario, what you will be doing? But morally, what do you think? You will be giving passive euthanasia. Okay, what about others? Sir, आपका नाम क्या है? Ayush will tell. If you are a doctor, your ethics, your principle is to save everybody's life, then you are taking somebody's life. Are you in dilemma? Yes, you can say that. So you will be killing one person. At last, sir, आप बताओ. Yes, correct. Okay, now somebody is saying will be giving, somebody is saying will not be giving, will be taking the family consent, will be taking the committee's report. Okay, now do you see there is a conflict between ethics and morality? Can you feel that? Do you face such type of dilemmas in your life where your ethics comes in conflict with your morality? Yes, everyone? Yes, sometimes some topper has said you that you have to study 14 hours a day. Somebody is saying 16 hours a day, and there is a huge competition. One topper has told you 26 hours a day. Now you were amused what to do. Then you, out of all this, you were highly motivated and you made a target to sit for 24 hours, that I will be doing 24-hour continuous study. And when you studied for 15 minutes, you were tired like hell, and you were saying, for example, let me take one nap, and you took a nap and you slept for another 24 hours. In such scenarios, and the next day you are feeling guilty. Ethics came in conflict with morals. Any such type of conflict that you have faced? Every day. Okay. For example, let's take one more famous example. Sir, आपका नाम क्या है? Vishwajit. Vishwajit is the person. Vishwajit is an IPS officer. Vishwajit is an IPS officer in UP. This is a very, very famous example. You might knowing about this example. And he knows about one criminal. Who has done various offenses, various crimes. For example, he has done 67 murders, 15 rape cases are against him. He knows about that particular criminal. Yes, he knows that if he is caught, once, will have to give justice to the various people. Yes, and if he is left, for example, if he is left uncaught, so what will happen? He will be creating lot of hue and cry for the thousands and thousands of people. Now, one fine day, he made a strategy and he caught hold of this particular criminal. Now, he knows that by law, he has to present this particular person in the court of law. But he also knows this particular fact, which he knows this, that if this particular person is presented in the court of law, he will be manipulating entire judiciary. He will be manipulating, entire police system will be in support. They all will be favoring him. Indirectly, they will be favoring him, and in few days, he'll be out. In few days, very famous example, you know that? Yes, some of you from UP will be guessing about that. Yes, name from development. Yes, that now you have got hold of that particular person. Now, in such scenario, what Vishwajit will be doing as an IPS officer? According to the police ethics, you have to present him in the court of law. But you know that if he is being presented there, he will be out in 7 or 8 days, not more than that. Remember that Pooja Khedkar wala example? Yes, everyone, please. Interim bail was given to the Pooja Khedkar. Yes. And a court also said she has not done the offense of any murder or any other crime. Yes. So let's take the example where person has done that. What you guys will be doing? Treat yourself as an IPS officer. At the last, sir, what you will be doing? At the last. Yes. You will be, he's saying he will be doing encounter. What about others? Mob justice. So do you feel that there is a conflict between ethics and morals again? My intent is to make you curious about this. Ethics coming in conflict with morals. Yes, these two case studies. Have you written all these examples? Now let us write one question. What is distinction between ethics and morals? Ethics and morals, and can they ever be in conflict? And can they ever be in conflict? Question mark. Can they ever be in conflict? Question mark. Provide examples. Provide examples to support your justification. So, have you written the question? Yes. How you will approach this question? In introduction, you will be writing about ethics and morals. Yes. Then you will be creating differences and relationship between them, and then examples, and then providing conclusion. Conclusion you can do that by contextualizing paropkaraye punyaye papaye parpidnam. Yes, we should always do good to others. Yes, the intent, ethics and morals should be guided toward doing good to others, doing good to others, doing paropkar. Yes, doing good to the society. Yes, that is how you will be doing conclusion. Are you getting or not? Introduction, body and conclusion. Everyone, if this question will be coming in your UPSC examination, will you be able to handle this? Yes. Yes. Now write down next heading, moral intuition, and there is one question, that is, what is difference between moral intuition and moral reasoning? Let us see in very short. Moral intuition, moral intuition is instinctive. Intuition is what? It is a gut feeling. It is automatic. It is instinctive. Yes or no? Intuition, it is always, yes, inner feeling, instinctive, automatic. Yes or no? You see that situation, you act, you reacted to that situation. Yes, but here in this particular case, you'll see that is, here it is deliberative. Reasoning is about deliberation, deliberative, after logical analysis, logical analysis. Yes, for example, guilty feeling after kicking stray dog. Now you kicked one stray dog, now you have this guilty feeling. Are you getting or not? Yes, that is instinctive. Guilty feeling after kicking the stray dog. Yes, it was automatic. Yes, here example would be, for example, you are doing deliberative analysis, logical analysis, whether capital punishment is ethical or not. Now more than 100 countries have banned capital punishment. There is a huge debate. They are giving various reasons on the basis of different principles, on the basis of different ethical normative ethical theories. Are you getting or not? That means these are examples. That is, moral intuition is what? It is instinctive, automatic, gut feeling. Now here, if you will see that, लिख लिया आप लोगों ने? Everyone? Yes? Yes. For example, when you will be seeing moral intuition, you will be finding that it is subconscious. It is fast and subconscious. आपको सोचने का मौका ही नहीं मिला. It was fast and subconscious. Yes, but with respect to moral reasoning, this question came in UPSC, by the way. This question came in UPSC. This is a UPSC question. What is difference between moral intuition and moral reasoning? Yes, a simple question came. Difference between moral intuition and moral reasoning. Now with respect to intuition, it is a gut feeling. Intuition is a gut feeling. Now with respect to intuition, you did not get sufficient time to react, for example, to think, to deliberate. Yes, you reacted instinctively. Are you getting or not? For example, you saw you saw a blind person and he was trying to cross the road, you went there and you tried to help him. Yes or no? Instinctively, automatically, you went there, you tried to help him to cross the road. Are you getting or not? That is, have you written this, everyone? That is, it is fast and subconscious. It is fast and subconscious. But it is in the deliberation wala aspect. Definitely, there will be lot of deliberation. That is, with respect to moral reasoning, there will be lot of deliberation. Analysis will be done. Yes, on the basis of various principle. On the basis of various principle. So it will be slow but conscious. Slow and conscious. This particular moral intuition might be dependent upon what? Yes, no, emotions and logic, no. That is, it might be dependent upon what? It will be emotional, no doubt about that. It will be logical, it will be logical, it will be emotional, it will be logical. Perfect. That is what we have explained. Now, with respect to this, that it will be dependent upon your socio-economic background. Yes, the kind of upbringing you had. For example, you in your family, patriarchal, that patriarchy is present. In your family, what is there? That is, patriarchy is there. Now, after marriage, what happened that now there is a normal tendency. There is a normal tendency to man to dominate women. Yes, in your family it happens. You have seen that. Yes, after marriage, you will be doing the same thing. It will be coming instinctively. Yes, in your family or in your society, if caste discrimination is taking place, yes, you being from upper caste and you have learned those values, you will be automatically doing that. Automatically doing that. Are you getting or not? That is coming instinctively. That is, it is coming from your upbringing. Upbringing and socio-economic upbringing लिख दीजिए, or the kind of value inculcation. Depend upon upbringing and kind of value inculcation. But here, with respect to here, in the moral reasoning wala aspect, here it will be dependent upon various normative, ethical principles. Various normative ethical principles, various theories, virtue ethics, deontology, we will be seeing about that, but all of those principles, but it will be dependent upon various theories. You will be deliberating over that. Then you will be deciding on certain thing, certain aspect. Are you getting or not, everyone? Yes, that is it will be dependent upon your upbringing. Here it will be dependent upon your normative ethical principles. That will be there. For example, in moral reasoning wala aspect, suppose an IAS officer is there. An IAS officer is there and there is certain project that is coming in a tribal area. He will be considering the economic aspect of that and environmental aspect of that as well. Are you getting or not? This example you can give here. Yes, that is, for example, DM considering economic and environmental aspects for tribal development plans. Here, person instinctively helps blind person to cross the road. Are you getting or not, everyone? that is moral intuition and moral reasoning. Is it clear everyone? That is person instinctively helps blind person, जहां भी handwriting समझ में नहीं आएगी बताएंगे, blind person to cross the road, and DM considering economic and environmental aspect for tribal development plan. In the fourth point I have written that upbringing and the kind of value inculcation being done, and here it is based upon various normative ethical principles. Here it is fast and subconscious, here it is slow and conscious, here it is instinctive and automatic, and here, okay, spelling of automatic, instinctive and automatic, and here it is deliberative and logical analysis being done. Here it is guilty feeling after kicking a stray dog, and here you are deliberating over the capital punishment, whether it is right or wrong. Are you getting or not? Just simple definition based difference. Now next thing is with respect to essence of ethics. Write down topic name, essence of ethics. This question is our homework. This question is your homework. Can you do this now? Ethics and morals wala question? Yes, everyone will be doing that. Essence of ethics in human action. Essence of ethics in human action. Next topic is essence of ethics in human action. Now somebody was asking, ki, sir, what is the basis on which we'll be deciding whether certain act is right or wrong? Yesterday somebody was asking this. Yes, on what basis we will be deciding certain act as right or wrong? Now we are coming to that topic. Yes, that is, what do you mean by essence? First let's go from that basic. What do you mean by essence? That is crux. That is, essence means basic nature of a thing, that makes it what it is. Very good, that makes it what it is. Yes, what about others? That is, it is core value, core of something. Essence is what? It is core of something. Yes, that is intrinsic quality that makes it what it is. Yes, without that particular thing you cannot define that thing. Yes, for example, sugar is there. To define sugar, what is that element you will be needing? Sweetness. Somebody said sweetness. Yes, sweetness is the crux of what? Sugar. Sugar ka essence kya hai? The essence of sugar is sweetness. The essence of sugar is sweetness. Similarly for salt, it is saltiness. Yes, are you getting or not? Yes, that is essence. That is, essence is what? That is, it is intrinsic quality or most important quality. Make this diagram, that is flow chart type of diagram, will be going in flow. That is essence, that is intrinsic quality, that is most important quality. Various dictionaries will be defining essence like this. That is, it is a most important quality without which you cannot define that particular thing. That is, it is a core of ethics that makes it what it is. That makes it what it is. That makes it what it is. Write down this. लिखेंगे, सभी लोग लिखेंगे. लिख लिया सर? Intrinsic quality or most important quality that makes it what it is. That makes it what it is. Without which we cannot define that thing. That is, it is a core of thing, core of that particular thing. Now in ethics, when we were discussing about ethics, we were dealing with this question of what is purpose of life. Yes, what is purpose of life? Yes, and how to achieve those purpose. Are you getting or not? Yes, we were saying that. Yes, we were saying that what is rightness and wrongfulness of human conduct. Yes, we were dealing with that question. Now, knowing about purpose and how to achieve those, we have to deal with this question of rightness and wrongness. That means we have to deal with what am I ought to do. मुझे क्या करना चाहिए? And this was a central question. Yes, when we were saying ethics is a normative science, there also we described that normative means what ought to be. क्या होना चाहिए? What we should do and what we should not. Yes or no? We have studied this. Yes, that is, in ethics, the core of ethics is this central question. That is, what am I ought to do? This is my goal, IAS examination, and I am at this place. I am performing very poorly. What am I ought to do? For example, this particular situation is there and I am at this situation. Now what is right for me at this particular position? What is right for me? What is right for me? Now this particular question, you can answer this by two things. By two things. First is what? From your own understanding, the kind of upbringing you had, from your own understanding, yes, the kind of upbringing, your intuition is saying you did whatever analysis that you have to do, yes, that is from your own understanding. Second aspect is, that is the central question, write down, what am I ought to do? That is, what should I do? मुझे करना क्या है? This is the central question of ethics. What should I do? What am I ought to do? Yes, that is normative aspect. That is, what should I do? What should be done? What am I ought to do? Keep on writing. Today we have to introduce these three ethical principles: virtue ethics, deontology and teleology. How one knows whether a conduct is right or wrong? How one knows whether a conduct is right and wrong? And somebody was asking, I told them, ki, wait for a moment. We will be doing that in the topic of essence of ethics. And somebody from the previous batch also, and then another batch, he asked this, that what is the basis? What is the basis of all of these things? We'll be seeing those things, yes, in this particular topic. Yes, that is how one knows whether a conduct is right and wrong. You can answer this by your own understanding or by principles of ethics. By principles of ethics. On those basis, those principles of ethics will be telling you, according to this principle, this particular act is ethical or not. Are you getting or not? So first thing is, that is, you can answer that by your own understanding, according to your upbringing, according to your own understanding, your own deliberative analysis, according to your whatever level of your understanding is. Next aspect would be, that is principle of ethics, that is the established standard we were talking about. In our umbrella definition of ethics, we were defining ethics as, ethics is a normative science where we study human conduct on some established standard. On some established standard. We were seeing that now, established standard, and I told you purposefully there, that is, we will be seeing this established standard. This is a key word. We will be seeing this later. That is established standard. That established standard. On what basis you are considering certain act as a right or wrong? That is called as, that is normative ethical theories. Why we are doing this here? So that whenever we are writing in our law sessions, the flair should come there. And the flair of these philosophies should come there. Yes, that is normative ethical theories. Normative ethical theories. Normative ethical theories. Normative means, that is what ought to be done. That is what we should be doing. Normative ethical theories. We have already described, those who were not there in the previous class, we have defined science into two parts. One was descriptive and another was normative. In descriptive, it is a as it is study. In normative, it is what ought to be. Kya hai, kya hona chahiye. Kya hai wala aspect, this as it is study, we study in the descriptive science. For example, in chemistry, we study about chemicals. In physics, we study about natural events. But here in the normative science, we are studying about what ought to be done. That what we should be doing. For example, we gave yesterday one example, that Mohan is running and Mohan should help others. It is normal. First aspect will be descriptive and another aspect will be normative. Correct? Are you with me? Yes. So that is the normative ethical theories. What should be done? Yes, that is what ought to be. These normative ethical theories can be divided into three parts. Can be divided into three parts. Keep on writing and we'll be understanding. Normative ethical theories. Normative ethical theories. These normative ethical theories are divided into three parts. We are doing this purposefully here so that whenever we are writing our answers, the flair of this should be coming in your answers. Now, see here. See, with respect to Greek philosophy, it is called as virtue ethics. The propounder of it was Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. Regarding them, we will be studying in unit number 5. definitely will be studying there. Yes, here we are just doing crux of it so that we can write in the answers. Now if you see this virtue ethics, the propounder is Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. Plato, while giving their theory, he has mentioned about cardinal virtues. Very important virtues. For example, if this is your chair, and it is supported, there is certain kind of chair. If you see this chair, तो अगर ये chair सबको दिख रही है, yes, there are certain kind of chairs which has this, it can be folded. That support is called as cardinal. Yes, which supports us. Are you getting or not? That is when door is opening, उसको कहते हैं हम लोग हिंदी में कब्जा. That is the support of the door. Yes, that is called as cardinal. Cardinal virtues. That means those principles were given by Plato. That means they support us throughout our life. These virtues support us throughout our life. During the difficult circumstances, while making certain decisions, they will always support us. Are you getting or not, everyone? That is, Socrates says that I know that I don't know anything. Yes, he says that an unexamined life is not worth living. He was focusing upon these virtues. It does not mean that he does not know anything. Yes, he was focusing upon virtue, and this virtue ethics says that that is morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. Morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. Write down this till here. That is Greek philosophy, that is virtue ethics. Good, that is Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. The crux of this theory is, if you are a good person, you will do good, and to be good, you must do good. That is, write down this. Is it visible at last, everyone? Is it visible at last? Okay, thank you. That is, if you are a good person, you will do good things, and to be good, you must do good. Okay, Manu Garg is here. The photo of Manu Garg is here. So this was a person who used to sit in our classes. Manu Garg, AIR 91, and earlier the first question he asked, sir, ki how we can use these shlokas in our answers. Yes, in our GS crash course he asked this question. So just now I saw this photo. So he was there sitting among you, hai na? So you can also become topper, thing like that. Yes. In the previous batch, in some different batch, one student was there having a negative attitude. Ki, sir, how will I be able to write the answers? This is my first class. I have missed so many classes. Do not worry about those aspects. Now you have started with me. So keep on doing that. We'll be doing law sessions. We'll be memorizing each and everything. At the end, everything will be there, provided you being consistent. He is a fully blind person. I'm not saying that, but I am not saying just to make it up. You might have heard about this. Yes, and he consistently attended all the classes. Are you getting or not? So you should also be doing that. Toppers are not born. Their copies are result of their deliberative hard work and efforts. Are you getting? Yes, that is morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. If you are a good person, you will always do good. For example, let me take one example, Vishwadit. This was a time during 1980s, 1990s. Now Kudankulam nuclear power plant was coming up. Yes, Kudankulam power plant was coming up, nuclear power plant. Yes. Now during that time, and it was coming with the assistance of Russia. And the time passed by, but all of a sudden hundreds of people surrounded that particular area, and they started protesting against this particular project of Kudankulam nuclear power power plant. Now, in that situation, what happened? Various political masters went to pacify these protesters, to know about the reason why they are protesting. And they were telling that there will be huge loss to the environment, so many reasons they were citing. But even after pacifying, giving many logical reasons, people were not able to pacify these protesters. Are you getting or not? Yes. Various bureaucrats went, various political masters, neta, बहुत सारे नेता गए, various political masters went, various bureaucrats went, but none of them became successful until when APJ Abdul Kalam went, and he made them understand in a most logical analysis. And since all those logics were given by previous political masters also, even bureaucrats also, but when the person with character was saying, people understood that. When this particular thing was told by APJ Abdul Kalam, people were knowing that he is a person with good character. But the inside story is something that this is the ethical wala perspective, but from the governance perspective, if you will try to understand this, that is from the governance perspective, if you will see this particular issue, you will see that, see, I teach both ethics and governance, and normally ethics and governance are interlinked. Most of these topics, because you are studying ethics in governance, even in the Labasna also, these two topics will be studying together. Are you getting or not? Ethics and governance will be studying together. Ethics in governance, that is a part of the syllabus. Now, if you will see here, now from the governance perspective, Kudankulam nuclear power plant was supported by Russia, and all of these, for example, those who were protesters, these were from one of the NGOs called as Greenpeace organization. Greenpeace organization, they were those people, and it was being supported by US and Germany. US and Germany. Are you getting or not? That was the inside story. From the governance perspective we understood, but from the ethical perspective, the person with good character, when he came and told the logical reasons, people were agreeing to those things that he was demanding. Are you getting or not? Yes. For example, today, E. Sridharan, the metro man of India, E. Sridharan, the metro man of India, if he is going into any company, investors will be more than happy to invest in that particular company. Why? Because person with character has come, credibility has increased. Are you getting or not? That means morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. That is, if you are a good person, you will always do good. If you are a good person, you will always be doing good. That is, tab aapka means and ends, everything is aside. Now, if person is good, then he will be always doing best in that particular situation. Are you getting or not? The first theory is clear, that is virtue ethics. The propounders were Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, and they said that morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. So write down this line also. Morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. It emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtues. Importance of cultivating virtues in oneself. Importance of cultivating virtues in oneself. And this AIR 979, Abhijit, he was Bhubaneswar student, first attempt, Bhubaneswar student, and when I went there in the Bhubaneswar, he was sitting there and he was very regular and consistent there. For the foundation, I went in the Bhubaneswar batch. For example, lot of our regional centers are also there. So from there also one student was there, and that is Abhijit. Yes, it emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtues in oneself. Importance of cultivating virtues in oneself. First theory is clear, that is, in a virtue ethics, you need just this much. That is, in virtue ethics, morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it, and the propounder of it was Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. Are you getting or not? At the last, everyone? Yes. Now next theory is deontology. Have you written this? पहले एक ही चीज लिखो, सारी चीजें मत लिख लेना, एक एक करके पहले समझो फिर लिखो, है ना? First try to understand and then you write. Yes. Now next particular theory is deontology. Deontology. Here deon means, that means the process, your duties. The propounder of it was Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant says categorical imperative. Immanuel Kant says categorical imperative. Categorical means unconditional requirement. unconditional requirement, unconditional, absolute requirement. What Kant says? Categorical imperative. Immanuel Kant, he was known for his unwavering discipline. We'll be seeing that. During his entire lifetime, he remained bachelor. He spent his entire lifetime in Kaliningrad in Russia and spending in the 22-kilometer diameter, entire lifetime. He rarely changed his schedule. That is, he told that zero down your interest and desires. He told that their unconditional requirement is you will always follow your duty. Unconditional requirement is you will always follow your duty. That is duty for the sake of duty. You will not think about results. Similar connotations has been given in even Bhagavad Gita as well, where Krishna is saying karmannevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. That is karmannevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That is, even the previous UPSC chairperson, he was a Nishkam Karma Yogi, and he used to ask in the interview board that, do you believe in Nishkam Karma? Do you believe in Nishkam Karma? In the modern times, whether it is practical or not, whether it is fruitful or not, that is Nishkam Karma. That is, without thinking about result, you are focusing upon your duty. That is duty for the sake of duty. Means are more important than the end. Are you getting or not? That is karmannevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan in the Indian connotations. Or that is categorical imperative. Categorical imperative means unconditional requirement is, that is imperative means command. Imperative means command or rule. Unconditional requirement is you will always follow these rules or duties. And you guys are very, very special. Small distraction will come. Somebody says that, chal bhai, brother, let's go to CP to have party. We have studied for 2 hours. Now it is enough. Now let's have party. And then you'll be going in CP to have party. You already had a tea in during one famous tea wala is there, that is Pratap Chai wala. Yes, but nowadays he is not making good tea. Yes, but Pratap Chai wala is there. Yes, now you already had that tea, and then you went into the library. You just started your study. Another friend comes. Let's have tea. One more tea. Then you see his face, and he also sees your face. Both are smiling, and then you go again to have that tea. Easily distracted. Easily distracted. What he is saying that you have to zero down your interest and desires. Yes, you should live by those principles. Immanuel Kant is that person who lived by his principle. Once upon a time, he sent certain books. For example, he rarely changed his discipline. For example, whatever routine he was following. For example, once he was sending his books to some part of Europe, and to preserve those books, he added various kind of dry fruits just surrounding that book, so that these books are being saved, yes, from the humidity. So he put various kind of dry fruits. Now when those sailors, when they went, they saw that these dry fruits are there. Dry fruits are there. So they ate all the dry fruits and they threw the books. It is being said that they threw the books, and during that time, the Immanuel Kant was very, very furious. Very, very furious, and he was very, very angry from all of them, very, very angry from all of them. And when they threw the books, through that the Immanuel Kant philosophies was reaching in the various parts of for example Europe. Are you getting or not? That means he is known for his unwavering discipline. In your life also, for example, during this period of time, you have to follow your duty at any cost. For example, if you have made a rule, if you have made a principle for your own self that I will be sitting this much hour, you should be sitting at no matter what, until unless it is highly urgent. See, it will be there. Always some sort of distractions will be there, but you will be little bit brutal about your own self that I will have to follow this at any cost. If you want this thing to be done at first attempt, less than 10% are clearing this examination. I will be showing you that graph also in some class. Let's proceed with these classes. I will be showing you those analysis as well. You will be seeing this. You will be seeing that less than 10% are able to clear this particular examination in their first attempt. The problem is their consistency. They are not doing in the consistent manner. Are you getting or not? That is at any cost you will be following what? Your duty. Immanuel Kant, there is one more story about him, that whenever he goes from any particular place, people used to correct their clock. Okay, Immanuel Kant has just passed by this particular road. It must be 3:10 p.m. Are you getting or not? So this kind of routine he was following, and people were knowing he was very famous for his unwavering discipline. Are you getting or not? That means that deontology is, deon means and logy means science. It is science of means. That is, at any cost you will be following your duty. That is duty for the sake of duty. You are following duty not for the result. You are following duty because it is your moral duty to do that thing. Yes, are you getting or not? That is, it is your moral duty to study at this particular time, not waste time. That is why you are doing that. That is, write down this. That is deontology. Deon का मतलब होता है means. Immanuel Kant, he has selflessness as the basis of human conduct. You are not thinking about any result. That is, it is selfless. It is selfless. That is, you are following duty for the sake of duty. Duty for the sake of duty. Also write this point. Duty for the sake of duty. Duty for the sake of duty. Within the inverted commas. Just below categorical imperative, write means, and within inverted comma, try to write duty for the sake of duty as well. Duty for the sake of duty. Right means, उसके बाद मैं बताऊंगा क्या लिखना है. Write down right means duty for the sake of duty, and after that write down this कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. You will not write like this because it is a very good. Shabash. Very good. Shabash. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. After writing this, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. After writing this, have you written this, everyone? Yes. Then after writing this, write down the meaning. You have right to karma, action or means, but never to fruits or ends thereof. That is, in your hand, what is there? Means. That is duty you have. You have in your hand what? Duties. That is, not to think about fruits or ends thereof. That is, you have right to karma or actions or means, never to fruits or end thereof. For example, I have given this example of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and he was following this principle of non-violence during non-cooperation movement. During non-cooperation movement, what happened? We have seen that he called off this non-cooperation movement. Why? Because there was violence being used. Because when violent mob burnt police station with 23 men trapped inside, 23 policemen trapped inside, people used violence, and that is where what happened? That is where non-violence was endured. दिख रहा है क्या सबको कि सब कुछ बंद हो गया स्क्रीन वगैरह? हाँ, चालू है. ठीक. ये you have right to karma, actions or means, but never to fruit or end thereof. Never to fruit or end thereof. That is Mahatma Gandhi calling off non-cooperation movement when a violent mob burnt police station with 23 policemen trapped inside. 23 policemen trapped inside. Here, what value has been focused? He was following the value of non-violence. He lived by that. Yes. So is it clear with respect to deontology? Deontology, deon मतलब क्या होता है? It means, that is, logy means science. It is science of means. When we say that science of means, that is, Immanuel Kant says that categorical imperative. Have you written this till here? Yes, categorical imperative. What do you mean by categorical imperative? That is, categorical means it is unconditional requirement. It is unconditional requirement that you will always follow your duty. That is duty for the sake of duty. Duty for the sake of duty. That is, similar connotation has been given in Bhagavad Gita as well. That is, karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. That is, you will always follow your duty. You should always focus upon your means. Here also you should always focus upon your means. And this example, yes, so first principle that we have seen, that virtue ethics, the propounder of it was Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, and they have said that morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. And then we have seen deontology. Here we are focusing upon duty for the sake of duty without thinking about results. For example, you are not doing charity because you will be getting satisfaction after that. You are doing charity because it is your moral duty to do that. Are you getting or not? For example, if you are following Sikhism and there it is being principled that 10% of your wealth you should be giving, then you are following that principle for the sake, you are following the duty for the sake of that duty. Are you getting or not? Not because after giving that charity you feel good and people will be very happy. You are not thinking about all of those things. Are you getting or not, everyone? That is, interest and desire has been zeroed down. Now next particular theory is teleology. Have you written till here, everyone? लास्ट में सर आपने लिख लिया, समझ में आ रहा है सर? एवरी लास्ट में, यस. नाउ teleology. Now teleology has been derived from word teleos. Teleos means purpose. Teleos means purpose. That is teleology. It is also called as consequentialism. Teleology. That is, teleos means purpose or ends. Consequentialism, that means you are focusing upon consequences. That is philosophy of consequences. Ism means philosophy of consequences. That is, here ends are more important than the means. Here what we are focusing upon, that is, ends are more important than the means. That is, in this particular theory, this theory has been divided into two parts. One is ethical egoism, which says that ethical egoism, the propounder of it was Thomas Hobbes. The early propounder of this was Thomas Hobbes, and he says that, understand this, he says that action is ethical if it promotes your own self-interest. Action is ethical if it promotes your self-interest. For example, you are a businessman. For you, maximizing profit is utmost important and you are working for that. If you are working for maximizing profit, it is ethical because it is in your interest. It is in your interest. For example, suppose you are studying. Yes, now you took certain books from here and you started studying without telling anyone. Yes, it is in your interest. Now you know that without telling also, if I have used this particular book for our own interest, that is called as, now according to the ethical egoism, it is fulfilling your self-interest. That means that act will be called as ethical if it is fulfilling your own interest. Are you getting or not? Yes, we have seen, we'll be seeing this particular example in the unit number 5 also with Geiger's ring, whereby we'll be giving you Geiger's ring and we'll be seeing this example of Socrates. We'll be doing that, do not worry. But with respect to teleology, first principle, is it clear? That is ethical egoism. That is, if you work for your own self-interest, then that act will be called as ethical. For example, Thomas Hobbes says, for purely selfish reason, people are better off living in the world with moral rules than without moral rules. People are better off living in with moral rules than without moral rules. That means you are following traffic rules because it is serving your purpose. Yes, if it will not serve your purpose, you will not follow these traffic rules because you want to reach on time in, for example, in the institute or in the company. If you want to reach on time, everyone has to follow these, for example, traffic rules. So in your selfish interest, you are following these traffic rules because you also want to reach office on time. Are you getting or not? Thomas Hobbes says this. Yes. So write down first. Teleology ends. पहले हम लोग egoism वाला लिख रहे हैं. Write down egoism. Action is ethical if it promote self-interest of the individual. That is Thomas Hobbes. Action is ethical if it promotes self-interest of the individual. That is given by Thomas Hobbes. Have you written this? Is it visible from there? Okay. Okay. लिख लिया first. Next particular theory is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism. That is greatest good for greatest number. That is greatest happiness principle. Write down this. That is self-interest as a basis of human conduct. That is you will be focusing upon that is greatest good for maximum number of people. Now for example, now in the governance, normally in governance we do this analysis with respect to revenues or free subsidies that is being given by the government, whether it is falling into the part of in the aspect of good governance or not. So we analyze various policy strategies. They analyze these free subsidies in the governance aspect. They analyze these free subsidies that whether it is a part of good governance or not. They analyze on these principles of utilitarianism, that is greatest good for greatest number for maximum amount of time. Now if you will see free subsidies, you'll find that is greatest good, that is it is for the greatest good, yes, for the greatest people, yes, greatest number of people, yes, but is it for the maximum amount of time? Free subsidies? No, it is not qualifying in the third criteria. That is why we do not consider. Various editorials have been there while elections. These various editorials were there on these aspects. That is, editorials said that these subsidies, these free subsidies are not passing this criteria of good governance when they have analyzed this greatest good for greatest number, that is in the basis of greatest happiness principle. That is what it is saying, that any action, that action is good, action is ethical if it promotes greatest good, if it promotes greatest good. For example, while in Mahabharata you have seen that there was a fight between Kauravas and Pandavas. From Kaurava side, Duryodhan was fighting, a great warrior. Duryodhan was fighting. Yes, sorry, Dronachar was fighting. Dronachar and Duryodhan was also there, but Dronachar was fighting from that side. Yes, and during that time, Yudhishthir is called as Dharmaraj. That is, he will always tell the truth. But for the greatest good, to establish dharma in the society, he at that particular time, since the Dronachar's child name was son Ashwasthama, he told that Ashwasthama is being dead, he told this, but he did not reveal this particular fact that this Ashwasthama is an elephant, not your child. He told that Ashwasthama is dead. Yes, but the intent was to defeat him, and hearing this particular news, he was purely dejected. He was purely shaken from inside, and he fell down, and this opportunity was used by Pandavas to kill him. With one lie, they killed this particular person, that is Dronacharya. Are you getting or not? To establish dharma, that is greatest good for greatest number. Yes, it is establishing greatest good. Are you getting or not? So we have seen all of these theories. Have you written these examples? Yudhishthir telling lie regarding Ashwasthama being dead. Have you written this? Yudhishthir telling lie regarding Ashwasthama being dead. Have you understood this story? Anyone who was not familiar with this story? Yes. So there was a fight between Kauravas and Pandavas in Mahabharata. This story, there is fight between Kauravas and Pandavas. Now Pandavas from the dharma side, that is to establish good in the society. Yes, now these Kauravas have already done a lot of adharma. Yes, for example, Draupadi Chiradan was there. Various other things happened. That is, they are known for the adharma, that is unpious activities. Now there was a war between them, and Dronacharya, one of the great warrior, was fighting from their side, and they knew that if this Dronacharya will be there, this particular person Dronacharya will be there, then we will never be able to win this war. That is, those from the fighting from the Pandava side, they were thinking that they will never be able to win this war. So taking down is the first prime task. So they told the Yudhishthir, and even Dronacharya was knowing that Yudhishthir will never tell lie, because he is called as Dharmaraj. He is a person with good virtues. He is a virtuous person. He will always follow his duty. Now he was thinking like this, and as soon as Dronacharya heard this, that Ashwasthama being dead, said by Yudhishthir, he fell down, and then they were using this Pandavas, they used this opportunity to kill Dronacharya, and this is how they proceeded with the war, and they won the war. Are you getting or not? Yes, that means for establishing dharma, for establishing greatest good for greatest number of people, they told a lie, and even this lie became ethical. Are you getting or not? Yes, to establish greatest good for greatest number of people. Now we have seen three theories. Everyone, we have we have seen three theories. Yes, first theory is what? Virtue ethics. कहाँ सोच रहे हैं आपके पीछे? Virtue ethics. Yes, virtue ethics. First is virtue ethics. Second is deontology. Third is what? Teleology. Now in the virtue ethics, that is morality of action is judged by character of the person who performs it. Morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. And the propounder was Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. In the deontology, we have seen that deon matlab means. Deon, that is duty. Now that is logy means science. It is science of means. Here propounder was Immanuel Kant. He says that categorical imperative. That is unconditional requirement is that you will always follow your duty, zeroing down your what? Interest and desires. That is similar connotation has been given in the Bhagavad Gita. That is karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. That is nishkam karma. That is without thinking about results, you will be focusing upon your means. Then next was, that is with respect to teleology, that is consequentialism. Here it has been divided into two parts. One is ethical egoism and next part is utilitarianism. In ethical egoism, what is there? Sir, what is there? That is self-interest, the prime focus. And in the utilitarianism, that is greatest good for greatest number. We will be studying in greater detail in the unit number 5, but for writing the answers, we have introduced this concept. Are you getting or not? Yes, everyone? सबको समझ में आया? Okay, so write down, note, ethical egoism, note, ethical egoism, it is normative ethical theory. Ethical egoism, it is normative ethical theory that suggests that individual should act in a way that maximizes their own self-interest. That maximizes their own self-interest. That is to promote. That maximizes their own self-interest. That is to promote their own well-being. That is to promote their own well-being. That is to promote their own well-being. In the full stop, paragraph change. In this context, Thomas Hobbes said, Thomas Hobbes Have you heard about Thomas Hobbes? Yes, yes. Thomas Hobbes said, that is inverted comma के अंदर write down, for a purely selfish reason, for a purely selfish reason, for a purely selfish reason, people are, for purely selfish reason, people are better off living in a world, people are better off living in a world, people are better off living in a world with moral rules, with moral rules than on without moral rules, than on without moral rules, than on without moral rules. For example, it is in everybody's interest, it is in everybody's interest to follow traffic rules. It is in everybody's interest to follow traffic rules. For example, it is in everybody's interest to follow traffic rules. Full stop. Paragraph change. Now let's analyze paragraph change. Now let's analyze quote given by Thirukural. Quote given by Thirukural, that is Thirukural. Have you heard of him? Thirukural? Yes, in ancient you might have heard, you might have studied. He wrote the book Thiruvalluvar. You might be seeing those things in ancient history. Do not worry if you have not covered ancient history. Thirukural, the quote is falsehood. The quote is the falsehood takes the place of falsehood, झूठा, falsehood झूठ बोलना, falsehood takes the place of truth, takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished, that is unblemished common good, unblemished common good. Now what he is saying, that falsehood takes the place of truth, yes, takes the place of truth. How it takes the place of truth? If it is for the common good, yes. For example, let's see, this particular theory is saying that it is about consequentialism. Yes, this question is PYQ. See, each and everything will be covered in the class, and you have to just, those who are watching us online, each and every PYQ, I am ensuring that each and every PYQ is being covered in the flow. Yes, so try to be attentive and consistent. That is falsehood. When he is saying that falsehood, that means telling a lie, but for what? This falsehood is for what? Establishing common good, public good, establishing for public good. For example, to achieve end result, that is to achieve greatest good for greatest number. Yes, to achieve public good, yes, greatest good for greatest number, that is end result. End is ethical. He is saying that end is ethical. Now see here, when he is saying that falsehood, that is telling a lie, takes a place of truth when it is resulting into the, that is public good. For example, Mahatma Gandhi during the time of Dandi March, yes, he told to the Britishers, and he told this lie to the Britishers that I am coming alone, मैं अकेला ही आ रहा हूं. Yes, during the time of Dandi March, to protect his followers. To protect his followers, he told this lie to distract these Britishers. Yes, and to preserve this national movement. Are you getting or not? So he told the lie. For example, during this time also, Indian government was saying that let's prepare for mock drill, mock drill, mock drill, and we were planning for something else. During Kargil war also, it happened. To distract enemy, what we have done, we have told so many lies and distracted them from the true aspects for the common good, to preserve our national security. Are you getting or not? For example, during the disaster management, we have normally seen that during Prayagraj incident that has happened, and lot of people were died on that aspect. We have seen that, for example, during any of the disaster, any DM tries to pacify or calm down the nerves of various people, even if in the grave situation, because they know that if they will be knowing the truth, what will happen? It will be creating chaos, and more death will be there. For example, after this Bhopal gas tragedy, we have taken this lesson and we have followed this as a practice. Are you getting or not? So these examples clearly indicate that falsehood takes the place of truth if it is for the common good. Write down next line, that is, it reflects continuing that common good, that is, it reflects consequentialist ethics. It reflects consequentialist ethics. That is, if falsehood leads to, pure, selfless public good, selfless public good, it may be ethically justified. It may be ethically justified. For example, first point, Mahatma Gandhi during Dandi March publicly claimed, Mahatma Gandhi during Dandi March publicly claimed, I am going alone, inverted comma के अंदर, write down within inverted commas, I am going alone, inverted comma close, to mislead the British, and protect followers, to mislead the British and protect followers, a lie for mass mobilization, protect followers, dash करके लिखेंगे, a lie, झूठ, lie, a lie for mass mobilization and national unity, Second point, wartime deceptions. Second point, wartime deception. That is, Indian Army misleading enemies with false strategies, during Kargil to protect national security, Next point, disaster management. That is collector or DM downplays downplays radiation threat. DM downplays radiation threat to prevent chaos. To prevent chaos. DM downplays radiation threat to prevent chaos. Write down within bracket Bhopal gas tragedy lesson. Bhopal gas tragedy lesson. Bracket closed. Thus, while truth is important, thus, conclusion लिख रहे हैं, thus, while truth is important, while truth is important, comma, if a lie is told selflessly, if lie is told selflessly and brings public good, without harming anyone, comma, it can be morally accepted. Full stop. Morally accepted. However, such choices should be made with great care and responsibility. Such choices should be made with great care and responsibility. Great care and responsibility. So in this respect, even Saul Alinsky says, we'll be seeing this line, we'll be writing about these lines when I will be doing means versus end debate. But Saul Alinsky says that the decision regarding following these means and ends varies inversely with person's personal interest. Are you getting or not? For example, if you will be in that situation, you will always be focusing upon ends. Yes, you will be always focusing upon ends. For example, कि suppose who was there? आपका नाम क्या था? Dhun is there. Now, if Dhun is there, and if I am saying that Dhun's home is being snatched away from him. For example, now government is planning to crumble down Dhun's home. Yes. Now, in that scenario, Dhun will try each and everything to protect his home, whether means are legal or illegal, because he is in that particular position. But the third person will be always analyzing, oh, he has done something wrong, he should have been doing this in this way or that way. Are you getting or not? So that is the aspect. We'll be doing this when Saul Alinsky will be studying about Saul Alinsky, then we'll be doing that. Do not worry about that. But he has given a different perspective about that as well. Now let's see deontology. Now let's see a separate topic called as deontology. Now before we do that, this is a very famous case. Let us see that. Tom Dudley and Stephens case. Tom Dudley and Stephens case of 1884. Let's understand this case. Now, in this particular case, what happened? This particular incident happened in 1884. There was one act, name was Minority. The act name was Minority, and it was going from England to Sydney. There were 4 persons. Here in this particular act, there were 4 persons. That is Tom Dudley, Edwin Stephens, Edmund Burke, and Richard Parker. Richard Parker being youngest one. Now they were traveling from England to Sydney, and they were midway, and somehow this particular yacht capsized, but they were not having, at the end, they were not having any food to eat or any water to drink. These people were really hungry and thirsty. Yes, and they were miles away from the coast. They were planning out, strategizing each and everything. They were trying everything to reach the coast, but there was no help. During this, what happened? Richard Parker, he felt very much thirsty, and he drank the salt water, that is sea water, and he fell ill. At that particular moment. Seeing all of these things, these three persons, Tom Dudley, Edwin Stephen and Edmund Brooke, what happened? They have seen this and they have to survive. So they, seeing Richard Parker being ill, they planned a strategy and they killed Richard Parker and they survived on his flesh and blood. That is, they practiced the activity of this cannibalism. Are you getting or not? That is, they survived on his blood and flesh. Now during this, now they survived and they reached the coast, and there you being, for example, Ankit or other persons, जिनका भी है, जिनका नाम मैं नहीं ले पा रहा हूं, everyone, जिनका भी है, now you consider yourself as a judge in this particular scenario, and tell me, if you being a judge, will you acquit them, or will you say that ki, okay, they have saved, okay, 3 lives have been saved, that is perfectly fine. Now, okay, it is perfectly fine, at least you guys saved. Now what you will be doing, what judgment you will be giving? So this particular case went to the court. There also various deliberation went, and earlier some decision was given, then that decision was tilted. So let's see how you guys will be responding. Okay, okay, ठीक है. What about others? He is saying according to utilitarianism, this particular act is fine because 3 persons has been saved, at least 3 persons has been saved. Now what about, for example, everybody's life is equal? In that sense, yes, we are not, it's just a analysis. We are debating because such type of debate we normally see in the cases also. Yes, so it is not about right and wrong. We have to deliberate over this so that our ethical arguments become more and more strong. Let's see that. Anyone else who want to try? मार दो. Yes, okay. What about others? Okay. Now earlier the judge gave the lifetime imprisonment. This is how it happened actually, and later on this particular this punishment was acquitted to only 6 months. Okay, now they were for example, the punishment was reduced to only 6 months. Now this happened, but the argument that went there, that is it justifiable to kill 1 person at the cost of 3? Yes or no? Those who are saying yes, yes, why? Okay. What about others? Those who are saying no? Yes. What about you, sir? Nobody is right and nobody is wrong. It is just your arguments. Yes, sir. Yes, very good. That is, nobody has given you right to take. So that doesn't mean that he will not be cured. He cannot be cured. क्या पता ठीक भी हो जाता? हैं? Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Anyone else? Perfect. Now you will remember this particular example. So just write this example: Tom Dudley and Stephen's case of 1884. That is the example for utilitarianism. That is Tom Dudley and Stephen's case of 1884. Tom Dudley and Stephen's case of 1884. Just write down this example. You will remember this. You will not be needing to explain this example at any point. You will have to just mention this example in your answers also. Tom Dudley and Stephen's case of 1884. Yes, Tom Dudley and Stephen's case of 1884. Now next particular case is of, लिख लिया आप लोगों ने, everyone? सर लास्ट में समझ में आया ये केस? एवरीवन इन दिस एरिया? यस, समझ में आया सबको? यस. Now next particular case is of trolley problem. This is also one of the example that you can mention directly. Yes. Yes, have you done this? Then next is trolley problem. Now see here, that is trolley problem. Now suppose you being a driver and your brake has been failed. Now you have two tracks to go. It is a right track. This is a right track that you have to follow. But you know that 5 people are here. They are lying. Yeah, they are sleeping. And now in the one track there is only one person. But this is a right track. This is a right track and this is a diverted track. If you have this option to divert this track as well. Now what you will be doing? Those who are following deontology, they will be saying that you will be following this right path, whatever path it is there. But those who will be following consequentialism, they will be saying that is end is more important. That means saving these persons' life. More number of people are here. Yes? Yes or no? What you guys will be saying? Tell me, you are in the favor of whom? Deontology or consequentialism? Deontology. Why you are in the favor of deontology? It is a right track. Okay. So it will kill 5 people. Sir, no humanness. Okay, what about others? You have the option to change the track. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong. It is just you have to give your answer. No, you have only these two options. These two options. Very good. Out of box thinking. Yes, sir. You want to say something? Yes. Okay. So you'll be choosing which path? That is this one. Yes. Okay. So write down this example as well. For whenever you want to mention about consequentialism or deontology, you can always give these examples. That is trolley problem. Just write these examples. You will be mentioning this in your answers. You will needing these examples to write your answers. Trolley problem. You can make this a small trolley and just for your own reference. Small trolley. Now let's see next aspect, that is, now let's summarize this. Somebody is saying that deontology, those who are in the support of deontology, they will be saying that deontology is simpler, that is just follow rules, koi magajmari nahi, there is no tension, just follow rules and no need for moral calculations. You have to just follow your rules, your duty. That is, means are important and means are everything. That is, you will always be following your duties. Duties for the sake of duty. The propounder is, we are summarizing this. Then we have seen virtue ethics. Virtue ethics says, that is, morality of a person is judged by character of the person who performs it. We have given the example of APJ Abdul Kalam. We have given the example of E. Sridharan, Metro Man of India. Yes, for example, Armstrong Payne. For example, when he made this road, People's Road, 100-kilometer roads connecting between Manipur and Nagaland, now at that particular time, various state government did not support him. Even central government did not provide any kind of support. And what he did, he started that out-of-box thinking. He did out-of-box thinking and he applied this principle. For example, he used this crowdfunding and asking help from the people itself. And then when people saw that he is doing for the good cause, they started coming up and they gave that donation in the large number, and that road was built connecting Manipur to Nagaland, and it is now one of the national highways as well. Are you getting or not? Although the process he adopted, it is little bit obscure and not fitting in the line of, for example, bureaucracy. For example, you have to follow always rules. In the bureaucracy, you have to follow rules. But he went beyond these laws, rules and regulations to help people. Are you getting? That means character of the person who performs it. Now Armstrong Payne being of good character, now that act, even that act will be called as ethical. That is, if you are a good person, you will do good things, and to be good, you must do good. That is, character is a very, very important element in the virtue ethics. Are you getting or not? And then in the last point, that is utilitarianism. Here, greatest good for greatest number. That is, end or consequences are important. Greatest happiness principle. That is, they will be saying that utilitarianism is simpler. There is only one rule, that is, you will be focusing upon end results. Yes, and that is practical as well. And deontology is rife with contradiction. Who will only follow? For example, I do not have end result and I am following means. How it is that possible? They are saying like that. Yes, so you have to set up end first, then only you can adopt any kind of means. Or you will be saying that I have these duties and I will be following those. So that is what they will be saying. There will be always a contradiction with respect to that, but what they are saying, you have got this or not. That is, in virtue ethics, repeat with me, that is, propounder are Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, and what they have said, that morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. Then we have seen deontology, propounder is Immanuel Kant, that is categorical imperative, that is duty for the sake of duty. And then we have seen consequentialism, that is, it has been divided into two parts, that is ethical egoism, yes, and then utilitarianism. Ethical egoism, propounder is Thomas Hobbes, and we will be seeing Jeremy Bentham and J.S. Mill later on. Do not worry about those, but this much aspect, the crux of it, you guys know. Now I'll be showing you certain questions. Those parts which are in Hindi, I will be translating in English as well. Do not worry about those things, but it is there, that is in the form of poem given by one of the IAS officers. So let's see that. For lecture only he has given one poem. Let's see that. कर्म करो तो फल मिलता है, आज नहीं तो कल मिलता है, जितना गहरा अधिक हो कुआं उतना मीठा जल मिलता है, जीवन के हर कठिन प्रश्न का जीवन से ही हल मिलता है. Now I will translate in English. That is, if you will do your duties, your deeds, you will get your results. That is, if you are not getting today, you will be getting tomorrow. And the deeper the well is, you will be getting sweeter water. That is, for every problems in your life, you will be getting solutions from your own life itself. Now here, where it is focused, that is means or in end or means or end. Means and end both. Yes. Now for example, this interest and desire is zero. Which philosophy? Interest and desire is zero. Interest and desire is zero. Immanuel Kant, yes, deontology. Greatest happiness principle or greatest good for greatest number. Utilitarianism. Now next is in the Hindi, that is चरित्र का निर्माण हो गया तो बाकी निर्माण स्वतः ही हो जाएंगे. That is, now let me translate in English for those who could not understand in Hindi. That is, if you will develop your virtues or character, then everything will be developed automatically. Do not worry about other aspects like means or ends. If you are following your virtues, that is, which type of ethics? Virtue ethics. Then which type of theory is this? Thomas Hobbes says that for a purely selfish reason, human beings are better off living in a world with moral rules than without moral rules. For example, it is in everybody's interest to follow traffic rules. Ethical? Everyone? Yes. Now there are certain jokes, like there is one of this is Immanuel Kant, but at least Immanuel tried. And next is Kant said that it is always wrong to lie. Yes, he'll be saying that. Now everyone else is it though? With this, let us understand deontology. Write down heading deontology. Now we have seen these stories of Immanuel Kant. That is, Immanuel Kant, that is, he was bachelor throughout. living in this particular area of Russia, that is Kaliningrad, and he spent his entire life within 22 kilometers of diameter. Why I am saying this? To understand him, you should know about in what context he is saying all of these things. Now, in the entire life, he lived by his principles, he followed his duties. He was preaching also this, and he followed his duty entire life. And that is, in this aspect, if you read that, Kant's routine was so consistent that it is said that citizens of Kaliningrad could set their clocks by timing of his daily walks, reinforcing his reputation as a man of unwavering discipline. Are you getting or not? Even with respect to, he was a very rational person. Whenever we say that about philosophy, we talk about different aspects like metaphysics, and next is epistemology. And next is ethics. There are three branches of philosophy. One is metaphysics, another one is epistemology, and another one is ethics. Now, if you try to understand Kant, he came in the prism where rationalists were fighting with empiricists. Rationalists were saying that only rational, that is logic, is real. And empiricists were saying that only experience matter. When Kant came, then he told that both of you guys, whatever you are saying, it is correct. Whatever you are affirming, it is correct. But whatever you are denying is wrong. Whatever you are saying is correct, whatever you are denying is wrong. Both rational and experience, both are important. Yes, in metaphysics, we are focusing upon on abstract ideas. For example, God, soul, or universe. Yes, and whenever we are talking about epistemology, we are focusing upon how to achieve that. For example, the theory of knowledge, how to achieve that. That is, here in metaphysics, we focus upon what wala aspect. And in epistemology, we focus upon how to achieve that. That is theory of knowledge. How to achieve in the most simplest term. That is, metaphysics is dealing with what wala aspect, and epistemology is dealing with how wala aspect. Now, regarding these metaphysical aspects like soul, God, which cannot be seen, which cannot be perceived by us. Yes, only mystics will be saying that we have felt the God. Yes, but you people, for example, we people are not able to see that God, or for example soul also, or for example universe also. Yes, now in those respects, Immanuel Kant will be saying, see, regarding those who are affirming that God exists, he will be denying those also, and for those who are saying that God does not exist, he will be denying those aspects also. He will be saying that regarding this, all of these what aspect, he will be calling all of these as a nomina. Little bit philosophical part, just to give you context. It is not concerned with our ethics. Just to give you context, in what context he came. Nomina. That is all the soul, God, or for example universe that cannot be perceived by normal human beings. He called them a nomina that cannot be known, and cannot be nameable. उसको आप नाम भी नहीं दे सकते. Cannot be known and cannot be nameable. That means in this particular aspect of God, soul, and universe, he says that he accepted these three entities, these metaphysical entities, on the basis of faith. कि मुझे भरोसा है, बस भरोसा है. Yes, in that aspect. Yes, are you getting or not? Yes, he being very, very rational. Why? Because he did not want other person to distract from the real problems of the life. What are the real problems of the life? Otherwise, those philosophers will always be thinking about those aspects. For example, one of the philosophers says that, what is this color? For example, let's take the board. For example, this is a black color. Now, how many of you see this black color? Everyone? No, you think everyone. Only 2 people are raising their hands. How many of you can see this black color? I think many of you are color blind, I guess. So, okay, अगर ये काला नहीं दिख रहा है तो ये तो दिखेगा ही यार. आप लोग ना कभी कभार ऐसा करते. Is this a white color or not? White color, everyone. Now 98% are saying, 90 out of 100 persons, 98% are saying that it is a white color. Now 2 color blind person, they are saying that it is a gray color. Now even cows or even animals, they cannot distinguish between the colors. हम लोग जिंदगी भर entire lifetime we were saying that grass is green, and those who are eating that grass, they are not knowing that grass is green. Are you getting or not? This is the perspective. Let's switch the situation. Let's switch the situation in which out of these 100 students, 98% are colorblind, and only 2%, those who are minority, those who consider them as a normal, for them it is they are abnormal. सबका normal अलग ही है ना? Everybody's normal is different. Are you getting or not? If it is a class of animals, they will be saying that okay, it is gray. Are you getting or not? And you'll be thinking कि भाई ये तो white दिख रहा है, कि this is looking like a white. Why these guys are saying gray? This is just a perspective. Are you getting or not? Now all of these analysis is being done in philosophy. Yes, it is being seen from different perspective. Now when Kant was saying that, Kant said that I can accept all of these things on the basis of faith, and to establish his ethics, that is what is the purpose of life and how to achieve that. For establishing that, he gave us this principle of categorical imperative. Categorical imperative, that is unconditional requirement. I cannot compromise on this, that I have to always follow this duty, always duty for the sake of duty, without thinking about results. First thing is clear, that is in deontology, try to write down first point as goodwill is only, write down first point, that is goodwill is the only unconditionally good thing. That is here your intention matters. Intention to do good matters. Intention to do good matters. That is goodwill is the only unconditional requirement. You will not do your duty for seeking somebody's, for example, appreciation. You will not do good things for seeking any appreciation. You will do good thing because it is morally worthy. It is your moral duty to do good things. Are you getting or not? Here your intention, pure intentions matter. Now you can say, sir, in the previous class, sir, intention, so my intention is to grab all the wealth of RBI. Not every intention matters. Otherwise, you guys will be emptying all the RBI wealth. What Immanuel Kant is saying in this particular scenario, what Immanuel Kant is saying, that intention to do public good, that is worthy. That is, it is not any intention. Kant says that only those intentions based on duty and moral law counts. That is, if someone intend to do something out of personal gain, emotion or pressure, it is not morally worthy. You can say that since Thomas Hobbes himself said that human being is inherently negative, brutal and selfish. Brutal and selfish. Thomas Hobbes said in the Leviathan, yes, he said this, that human being is inherently negative. That is, every time you will see that, even if you will see, for example, everybody, now, okay, this fell down. Okay, it again fell down. You will be saying that it is because of gravity. Yes, it is because of the gravity. Now, Thomas Hobbes will be saying that everything, if the natural tendency of each and everything is to move in the negative direction. Natural tendency is to move. आप खाली बैठ जाओ, सारे negative thought आ जाएंगे. If you will be sitting idle, you will be facing with a lot of negative thoughts. Are you getting or not? He says that natural tendency of society is to move toward anarchy and destruction. To ensure survival and sustenance of society for the longest period of time, what you require these laws and ethics. Are you getting or not? Yes? Are you getting or not? In this particular context, if you are applying any intention, then you will always be focusing upon your own selfish interest. Yes? You will always be focusing upon your selfish interest. Let's take the example. We'll be taking this example again. This was a area in US and in, what is this? Yes, America, correct. Now here this particular part was, that is called as New Orleans city, and there was one hurricane named Katrina. It came, Hurricane Katrina came. Yes, during 2000 one hurricane came, Katrina, and after this, not Katrina Kaif, yes, Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. Everybody was shocked. Oh, what is happening? Now Katrina, not Katrina Kaif, Katrina, Hurricane Katrina came, and after this Katrina hurricane, what happened that there was lot of dust and smoke was there everywhere, and there was water cut and power cut. Now before to this Hurricane Katrina, this particular New Orleans city was performing really well in various kind of indicators like law index, happiness index, peacefulness index, everything. It was performing really well in top 10. All of that means this particular New Orleans city was performing, that is performing really well. That means people were living peacefully there. And all of a sudden, when this Hurricane Katrina came, then lot of water cut was there and power cut. People started behaving in a way that was not natural for them to accept. That is, for example, there was a lot of looting practices happened. People murdered their own neighbors. People looted entire, for example, shopping malls, because no camera was working, nothing was working. People looted these entire Walmarts. People did rapes. Various child rapes happened. See, the city which was performing really well in various indicators, this is a practical case study. That study will be seeing that in the ethics versus laws, but here also in this case also it is contextually fitting. That is, if any intention will matter, then you will always work for your own selfish interest. Are you getting or not? Here what people started doing, that city which was performing really well in these indicators, all of a sudden people started behaving abnormally. That is where Thomas Hobbes says that that is natural tendency of society is to move toward anarchy and destruction, and to show survival and sustenance of society for the longest period of time, what do you require? These ethics and laws. Are you getting or not? Now with this context, not every intention matter. Only those intentions which are based upon your duty, that is based upon moral law, that only count. And here he says that intention behind your action that mattered, not your emotions or result. You become very, very emotional. Your friend shows a eye that let's go to have a tea or let's go to party, and hit bhai nahi hai kya? You're not my brother. And then you'll be telling, okay, I am your brother, let's go to party. Yes, you'll be wasting a lot of time. It should not be guided by your any emotions and not any other aspect also. Are you getting or not? You are doing duty for the sake of duty. That is, suppose for example a postman delivers a letter during a storm, not for money or reward, but it is because it is his duty. Are you getting or not? Yes, because it is his duty, that is why he is doing that. It is not that in the storm I will be going and that particular person will be giving me reward, giving me appreciation. It is not because of that, because it is his moral duty. Are you getting or not? For example, suppose any person is there. For example, आपका नाम क्या था sir? Ayush is there. Ayush is being DM in certain particular area, and he is a very ethical person with integrity and probity. Yes. Now when nobody is seeing, and there was one proposal for corruption, that is 5 crore corruption. A similar incident happened with one of the student, and he called me one day and he told that, sir, 5 crore rupees mil raha hai, le le kya? I am getting 5 crore rupees in one of the opportunity has come, and let me take that, and I will be shifting to some other country and Norway and Sweden, and life will be set, sir. He told the exact words. Now suppose you got this opportunity. Now when nobody was watching and you know that there is no chance that anybody could catch you in this particular situation, you are laughing now, you are smiling now, it means that you have certain things in your mind, something fishy is going on. Now let us see, now in that particular situation what you will be doing. That is, for example, if you reject, now you are a person with integrity and probity. In that situation you rejected that offer of bribe. Yes, that is, you are guided by your moral duty. You are guided by your moral duty. That is, you are following this first principle. That is, your intentions are pure. Are you getting or not? First principle, everyone. That is, for example, a civil servant refuses a bribe even when nobody is watching. even when nobody is watching. You have to write this. फटाफट लिखेंगे. Goodwill is the only unconditionally good thing. लिख लिया सभी लोगों ने? यस. ये लिख लिया सभी लोगों ने? दिस वन लिखिए, फटाफट लिखिए. आर यू गेटिंग और नॉट? सबको समझ में आ रहा है क्या कि सिर्फ आप लोग मुंडी हिलाने में एक्सपर्ट हो? समझ में आ रहा है? यस. Everything I am making you write, do not worry. And if at all, if it anything remains, I will be sharing. Do not worry. कोई भी चीज ऐसी चीज नहीं होगी जो छोड़ूंगा मैं. पीडीएफ बहुत पहले मांगते हैं. पीडीएफ कलेक्टर नहीं, अच्छे से वैसे भी हो जाएगा अगर नोट्स अच्छे से बनेंगे. डू नॉट वरी. कुछ छूटेगा मैं डेफिनेटली आई विल बी शेयरिंग. लेकिन लिखवा ही रहा हूं, समझ समझ के लिख रहे हैं. इट इज बेटर वे. यस एवरीवन. मैडम आपका हो गया? बीच में आपका हो गया? फटाफट लिखिए. यस. Those who have written, please revise. This is a competition. Yes, each and everything that you'll be using, how you use. I will tell the story of Kanish Kataria. Kanish Kataria in very first attempt with mathematics optional, he got rank 1. He used to come from Patel Nagar to this Karol Bagh area. And during that time, whatever lectures were going on, what he used to do, he used to make the audio notes of that. While coming and going, he used to hear that. People were saying, normally people were saying, all the other students were saying that he always listens songs. And meantime, he was revising each and everything. While dictation, many times we have seen that, for example, that particular person, when we were dictating, he used to repeat all of those words that I am saying. That is, his intention was to memorize all of those content within the class itself. Are you getting or not? With mathematics as an optional, in the first attempt, it is very, very difficult to clear. With mathematics as an optional, in the very, very first attempt, it is difficult to clear. But with such kind of mentality, such kind of attitude, you can do that. Are you getting or not? So do not waste any time. All of time that you are getting, you have to utilize that. We have seen that. So we've seen those stories. Are you getting? So please utilize this time and try to revise each and everything that you are seeing. Yes, ye likh liya? And just one line. A civil servant refuses a bribe even when nobody is watching. Just this. A civil servant refuses a bribe even when nobody is watching. Now we have seen first principle. Let's see second principle. That is principle of universality. Principle of universality. Principle of universality. This particular principle says that one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. क्या छूट गया सर? रुका, बताइए कौन सा पार्ट छूट गया? और ऊपर जाना है क्या? हो गया? आपका हो गया सर? आप किसी से देख के लिख लेंगे? ओके, because we have 5 to 10 minutes, let's cover this as well. Principle of universality. Principle of universality. that is one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. That is one should act, read this again, that is one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. That is, otherwise it will be what? Conditional imperative. If you want that other person should tell the truth and you will be telling lie to everyone. Yes, how the morally just society could be created? That is, for example, telling a lie. Now this particular crow is saying that bhai tu bindas jhoot bol. Sorry. That is, if you speak the lie, then you have to put the condition that if someone's life is saved. Yes, that is, even if you are saying the lie, then you have to put the condition. That is, somebody's life should be saved on that. That is a conditional imperative. For example, if we can't make this lie, telling a lie, as a universal principle. Yes, we cannot make this lie, telling this lie, a universal principle. Otherwise, no one will be trusting anyone. कि सामने से कुछ बोल रहा है, now somebody is saying something and you will not be trusting that. अक्का कुछ दाल में काला, something fishy is going on. Yes, कि for example, those person who are saying lie, they themselves do not want that some other person will be telling lie to them. Are you getting or not? That is, जो झूठ बोलता है वो भी नहीं चाहता कि कोई उससे झूठ बोले. Yes, वो झूठ बोले तो चलेगा. But if other person is telling the lie, that is something of unethical for him. That is, the person telling a lie, he himself does not expect that other person should tell lie to him. Are you getting or not? That is, if telling lie become universal law, then it is against the rationality. Immanuel Kant says this. It is against the rationality. You can make those moral rules a universal law. That is, one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become a universal law. Write down this line. One should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time becomes the universal law. One should act according to those universal rules. One should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. Principle of universality. For example, love, compassion, these could be universally applied. A person doing daikati does not want daikati to happen in his own home. Yes or no? Yes, he will be doing daikati in different homes, but he does not want that in his own home that daikati should happen. Are you getting or not? One should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. Are you getting? That is second principle. That is, write down, otherwise it will be a conditional imperative. Write down this example. After writing this, otherwise it will be a conditional imperative, write down this line. That is, we can't make telling a lie a universal law. After writing this, otherwise conditional imperative, otherwise पूरा लिख लिया तो भी चलेगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, but in short, otherwise conditional imperative, that is, we can't make telling a lie a universal law. We can't make telling a lie a universal law. Otherwise, no one will trust. That is against rationality. If telling lie becomes universal law, it will be against rationality. If telling a lie becomes universal law, it will be against rationality. Because person doing daikati does not want daikati to happen in his own home. Person telling a lie does not want that any other person should tell lie to him. You should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. Yes? लिख लिया? Everyone? For example, Kant asked this, then how should we act? What is right for us and what is wrong for us? Kant replies that one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. जिसको हम universal बना सकते हैं. Everybody should follow those. For example, we should be guided by love, compassion, universal values, which can become universal principle. For example, the cat does not want the cat in his own home. Yes, That is, hence the ethic cannot become universal law. Yes. For example, what you can make universal principle like love and compassion, these kind of values. Write down these examples. Love and compassion. But love and compassion, we all want compassionate behavior and we all want love. Can ko chhod ke. We all want compassionate behavior and we all want love. We have seen this Kant ki dry fruit wali story. Yes, we have already seen that. That is compassion. We all want compassionate behavior and we all want love. Have you written this? Yes. So two principles we have seen, that is intention matters, your pure intention matters, and second principle is one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. Then the third principle is principle of respect. Third principle is principle of respect. Third principle here is principle of respect. That is, one should treat other rational being as an end in itself. As an end in itself, not as a means thereof. Not as a means thereof. That means you will never use a person for your own benefit. Yes, you will never use a second person as a means to serve your own end. Are you getting or not? Let's understand. For example, person doing human trafficking is using other human for serving his own evil interest. For example, slavery, person using other person to serve his own interest. For example, Cambridge Analytica case has happened. Cambridge Analytica case. Yes, in US, that is, in that particular case, they have taken various data from various people in the US and they have been used to win the elections. Now, people's data have been used to win election. Those data has been used to see what kind of opinion people are having, and they try to manipulate those opinions, influence those opinions with the help of technology. Now, people were used as a mean to serve any other person's end. Are you getting or not? For example, Shraddha chit fund scams. People used other person to make their own wealth. They were showing, for example, luxury hotels. They are living a life in our luxury rooms, and if you will buy these chit funds, then you will also some time you will be also earning this car, you will be having this lifestyle. People trusted in them and they invested there, and one time after collecting lot of money, they went away. Are you getting or not? Yes, personal interest over public interest. Perfect. That is, using other person as a means to fulfill your own interest. One should not act like that. One should treat other rational being as end in itself, not as a means thereof to fulfill your own evil interest. Are you getting or not? This was a UPSC question. One should write down this principle of respect, and then after writing principle of respect, you will write this principle, and then we'll be doing brainstorming. You have written this till here, everyone? सबको ये principle समझ में आया? Yes. कहाँ पर? One should treat other rational being as end in themselves, never as means to an end. Yes? Are you getting? Let's do brainstorming. This particular question came in UPSC examination. Let us try to understand. Although we have understood this, let us try to understand this. That is, it is a deontological principle, third principle of Immanuel Kant. That is, we should treat other rational being as an end in itself, not as a means thereof. Not as a means thereof to fulfill your own evil interest. Are you getting? For example, it is absolute and unconditional requirement that all human beings are end in themselves. They are end in themselves. You cannot use other rational being as a means to fulfill your own end, because their life is also very, very important. Yes, that is, all human beings are valuable. That is, they should not be treated as means to fulfill your evil end for your own personal interest, fulfilling your own personal interest. That is, Immanuel Kant is saying they should not be treated as object. They should not be treated as object or resource to accomplish your goal. Yes, are you getting or not? For example, he is saying that people have intrinsic value that is independent of their use to others. Different people have different values. Yes, every person is valuable. Are you getting or not? Yes, and it is not that since you are in the higher position and you can misuse other person. Are you getting? That is, it is immoral to use another person merely as a means to fulfill your own end. For example, during Cambridge Analytica case, that is where humans were used as a means to win the election by treating them as a numbers. Humans were treated as a numbers. They were treated as a data, and some political party gained power. Are you getting or not? That Facebook wala case, it is against the Kant statement. For example, poverty versus development debate. Poverty versus developmental debate. For example, here poor people are treated as a means. They are being displaced. Now no proper rehabilitation mechanism has been provided. In that scenario, what they will be doing? They are being just treated as a numbers. Yes, they have been displaced. That is, poor people are treated as a means. That is, their source of livelihood or land are being taken away for developmental purposes. Yes, that is tribal displacement. For example, Shraddha chit fund scams. Yes, showing you rosy pictures, now manipulating you, showing you that we are living in a hotels, big hotels, we are traveling with aeroplanes, we are going here, we are going there. People get allured by that. People sees that, okay, I also want to live that kind of life. Okay, I have to purchase this chit fund. Okay, we will be purchasing that, and after that they have collected all the money and they left. They escaped from the country. For example, using poor person during corona times to test new medicines. Yes, these people, those poor person were given 500 rupees, 2000 rupees, and these medicines were tested by these various companies, various medical companies. Are you getting or not? That means these poor person were used as a means to fulfill their interest, those companies' interest. Are you getting or not? For example, capitalism. In capitalism also, there is maximum exploitation of labor to gain as much profit, to extract as much profit as you can. That is, without giving them social welfare. For example, woman exploitation and commodification. For example, here in the Madhya Pradesh, one rape of a minor happened. In this particular case, that she was going to, there was one CCTV footage in which that child was going from door to door and nobody helped. Nobody helped. Are you getting? People using other person as a means to fulfill their own interest, and some priest has helped him. Later on, some priest has helped him, but it is clearly indicating that using other person to fulfill your own means. For example, using other person as a means to fulfill your own end, it is a highly unethical thing. Are you getting or not? For example, child labor is there. Yes, wherein child is being used for fulfilling somebody's interest, for fulfilling somebody's end. Are you getting or not? This quote, that is, one should act, for example, one should treat other rational being as end in themselves, not as a means thereof. Write down this. Just, you have written this? Yes, then just give 1 or 2 examples, 2-3 examples. Write down this. We have time. बहुत सा लिख सकते हैं हम लोग. Brainstorming. Write down brainstorming. The ontological theory of Kant, categorical imperative. यहीं से चाहिए ना, ये तो ऑलरेडी कोट ही है. ठीक है. This was a question asked by UPSC twice, repeated by various state PCS examination, UP PCS, OPSC, various PCS examinations, repeated questions. Last year in OPSC, they have asked about all these 3 principles. In JKPSC, those who are having mains in July month, this question is very, very important. मैम नहीं दिख रहा है, हो गया? हाँ हाँ, ये वाला पोर्शन हो गया एवरीवन? नहीं? Even in the politics also we see that various time there was one story of YS Rajsekhara Reddy during 2004-2005 when he came to the politics for the first time. He was having the annual income of I think 2.5 lakh per annum. Rajsekhara Reddy, yes, during that time he was having 2.5 lakh per annum when he entered into the politics. Yes, very meager income. Even you will be feeling pity about him. What is that income? Now he was there for 5 years. Yes, for 5 years. He was there for the 5 years. And he paid advance quarterly tax. After 5 years, he paid those who amass a huge amount of wealth. Those who amass a huge amount of wealth, they have to pay advance quarterly tax. Advance quarterly tax. And he paid approximately 15,000 crore in tax. And it has been assumed that he has, it has been calculated that he has amassed the wealth of 1 lakh crore. Now think about your career. You are in the wrong career, Baba. You have to think about this again. Now see here, that is, people were used as a means to, for example, to win the election or to gain huge amount of wealth. Now those who are giving subsidies, free revenues, why you are expecting them development? Yes, if they have given you 50,000 rupees cash, for example, in the recent elections, yes, 50,000 rupees cash. Now, why you are expecting them from them a development? Are you getting? Yes. For example, in certain states, one vote was equivalent to the one teacher's bottle. One teacher's bottle was distributed. Teacher is alcohol. Teacher's bottle was distributed, and people gave them votes. Are you getting or not? Intrinsic values, that is independent of their use to others. That is independent of their use to others. क्या समझ में नहीं आया सर? लास्ट क्या कुछ छूट गया क्या? ओके, जहां नहीं समझ में आ रहा, you can ask. So people, even in the politics, they use that. Are you getting or not? Yes. कहां पर? People have intrinsic values, that is in Cambridge Analytica case, very famous case where people were used as a number. Their data was collected and used to win the elections. For example, which one? People have intrinsic value that is independent of their use to others. यहां पर लिखा हुआ है independent. Wait for few days, you'll be habitual of my handwriting. Those who are from GS, they know that, but अभी आप लोग शुरुआत है तो कहां पर? Members, treating them as numbers. Sorry, treating them as numbers. Even during 2019 elections, there was one ADR report which says that various political parties have got fund of approximately, there is one ADR report, Association of Democratic Reform. The organization name is Association of Democratic Reform. Have you written this? ये यहां तक सब लोगों ने लिख लिया है? Everyone, even at the last, सब लोगों ने लिख लिया? Yes. Thank you so much. Write down these examples. You can write down like this: poverty versus development debate, Shraddha scam, using poor to test new medicines. So during 2019 election, what happened? Various political parties got approximately 5,000 crore rupees in donations. Yes, but together they have spent around 60,000 crore. They have total got how much? 5,000 crore, and they have spent approximately 60,000 crore. And when this particular thing was asked that from where these 55,000 crore came, yes, then it is being said that even Election Commission of India accepted at that particular time that there was a role of these various companies, various illegal black money. There was a role of those black money in that to win the elections. To win the election, people use such kind of tactics. That is, they are using for their own personal interest. Are you getting or not? Yes. Poverty versus development debate, Shraddha scam. Shraddha scam, using poor to test new medicine, using poor to test new medicine. Capitalism. Yes. Bas 5 more minutes, just we'll be revising and then we'll be done. उदास नहीं होना है. Be energetic and have life full of zeal. अभी तो शुरुआत है, चीजें अभी और भी टफ होंगी, है कि नहीं? When you'll be writing continuously for straight 6 hours. Writing is very, very important. Yes. There is one person called as Archit. Now his brother, his elder brother, got rank around 300. So in the next very attempt, he was a part of our ethics course, and he told, sir, in the next very attempt, Archit got 149 rank. I think 140 on 50 rank. Yes. So he told sir, sir, my elder brother was there, and he told me that he already got the rank, and he told me that see, after prelims, what you will be doing, that you will have, after revising or each and everything within 1 month, you have to focus upon answer writing, and you will be writing 6 hours continuously. You have to write 6 hours continuously. So what he did, sir, what I did in my first attempt, he told that, sir, I started writing 9 hours a day, 9 hours continuously writing. Are you getting? So huge amount of practice. It requires huge amount of practice. समझ में आ रहा है क्या? So I am trying to tell you this, that we are going to organize our law session very soon. So get ready for that. We have to write. Yes, capitalism लिख लिया आप लोगों ने? बस ये वाला एग्जांपल मत दीजिएगा, है ना? This is not worthy of writing. It is just for understanding. यहाँ पर woman exploitation, commodification and child labor. Just write this. Do not write this. For example, these news. You are not advisable to write in the examinations. Woman exploitation, commodification and child labor. Are you getting or not? Yes. So what we have done in today's class, everyone, have you written? Everyone? Yes. So what we have done in the today's class, yes, we started our journey from, that is the relationship between morals and ethics, and we have seen that certain act could be called as ethical as well as moral but not ethical, ethical was not moral. Then what we have done, next portion was, that is essence of ethics, that is moral intuition and moral reasoning. We have done moral intuition and moral reasoning, and there we have seen, that is what is intuition. It is your gut feeling, it is instinctive, automatic, dependent upon your upbringing, and when we were talking about moral reasoning, it is dependent upon, that is ethical principle, that is it is deliberative or लॉजिकल एनालिसिस है कि नहीं. And then we have seen what that is essence of ethics. Here we were saying that what is essence, that is without which we cannot define that particular thing. And here in the ethics, what is the central question, that is what am I ought to do, that is what is the how to decide whether certain act is right or wrong, and thereby we introduce principles of ethics, and thereby we have seen normative ethical theories. We have seen three theories. One is virtue ethics, that is morality of an action is judged by character of the person who performs it. Propounders were Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. Then we have seen deontology. In deontology what we have seen, it is science of means. We have seen that Immanuel Kant was propounder of this theory, and he said that duty for the sake of duty, that is categorical imperative, that is unconditional requirement or absolute requirement, is what you will always follow your duties. And then we have seen the similar connotation was there in the Bhagavad Gita as well, that is karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And then we have seen teleology, that is consequentialism. It has been divided into two parts, that is ethical egoism and utilitarianism. And thereby we have seen and we have understood about Tom Dudley and Stephen's case, wherein we have seen that Richard Parker was killed by Tom Dudley, Edwin Stephen and Edmund Brooke, and there was a question on consequentialism. Yes, trolley problem we have seen. We have also seen, that is we have seen summary of these questions on that, and then we started with deontology, and we have seen three principles of deontology. All of these three principles we have seen. First principle, these are very important, very important. First is goodwill is the only unconditionally good thing. Goodwill is the only unconditionally good thing, that is intention matters. Your intention to do good matters, that is first thing. Second is, that is you should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal principles, that is principle of universality says that one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal principle. What is this principle called? What is this principle? That is one should act according to those moral rules which can at the same time become universal law. And then last principle was principle of respect, that is one should act according to principle of respect, that is we should always treat other rational being as an end in itself, not as a means thereof to fulfill your own evil interest. That is one should always treat other rational being as end in itself. What is this principle called? That is principle of respect. What is this principle? That is one should act according to, that is one should treat other rational being as an end in itself, not as means thereof. Are you getting or not? This is what we have done in today's class. From tomorrow we will be doing other aspects like determinant of ethics and consequences of ethics. So thank you everyone. If you have any doubt, I am still here. You can ask any doubt, any query if you have. I am still here. Thank you so much. Please complete your homework. Tomorrow I will be checking. Okay. Thank you so much.